Egghead Hockey here. Today we're going to be talking about a topic that I'm super excited about, and I'm sure other Canucks fans are also excited about. Today we'll be talking about the signing of Nils Hoglander, who in fact is a Canucks top prospect. But before we get into today's video, I need to go over a few things. First of all, I want to acknowledge that we have surpassed 100 subscribers, and this calls for a celebration. So I'll be doing a shout out as my 100 subscriber celebration. Here's how it's going to work. You have to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and comment done. I will pick a random comment on May 12th, so hurry. Now, before we start the video, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And if you want to get a shout out, also comment done. Anyways, let's get into the video.
Well, we're waiting.
Hoglander was signed on April 29th, and he was drafted 40th overall in the second round of the 2019 NHL draft. I think that he was a complete steal, and some people actually had him ranked in the first round, but he was drafted late because of his height. It's sort of a Nikita Kucherov, Alex DeBrincat, or Braden Point kind of thing, except Hoglander is already 185 pounds, and he is gritty, and he has a pretty good physical game for someone who is 5'9". He is good and he has a pretty high potential, but that doesn't mean he will definitely be a good player. While his potential is high, his height will be a very high obstacle to overcome. And on top of that, the transition to the NHL can be a tough one. A lot of people seem to have this idea where we can just put Hoglander in the AHL if it doesn't work out. Well, you're actually wrong. The double IHF transfer agreement says that we can't put Hoglander on the comments. He has to go to his SHL team, Rogla BK, unless they allow him to go to the AHL. And I don't think that's going to happen because Hoglander himself even said if he's not good enough to play in the NHL, he will go back to the SHL for the year. Sure, it will be annoying if Hoglander goes back because that's a year down the drain, but what can you expect? You know, he is a second rounder, and you can't expect him to be much of an impact player if he comes to the NHL next year. Rushing a player can critically affect their development path, and I also feel that people are getting carried away on the Hoglander hype train. Yes, he performed well in the World Juniors, but that doesn't mean he will definitely be an elite player. I think a realistic potential for him is a solid 50 points plus player who is a top 6 forward and has a very good two-way game, or just even a good two-way game. His upside, which of course is his best case scenario, is an elite forward, as I mentioned. Jim Benning has said that Hoglander will play a top 9 forward role if he makes the team, which is pretty good, but this basically means that he'll be a bottom 6 forward unless he breaks out. Personally, I don't think we need Hoglander next year. We have a pretty good top 6, and hopefully we can re-sign Toffoli, and that will be a video coming up soon, so make sure you tune in then. Anyways, we can't rush him in, and we also can't overhype him, because it's not a guarantee that he'll be good, and the pressure could get to him. For example, when we had Jonathan Dahlen, we thought he'd be really good, but he didn't work out for the Canucks, and yes, he is a top prospect for the Sharks, but he is yet to play an NHL game, and he's 22 turning 23. And I'm not labeling him a bust in any way, but so far, he hasn't panned out. Needless to say, he still could be good, but Hoglander also is a different player than Dahlen, and he's part of a deeper draft in my opinion, and that could be debatable, but I think so. Anyways, I think Hoglander can become a really good player, but sort of like Dahlen, he is going to take time. Not 4 years, but maybe 1 or 2, because I think Hoglander is better than Dahlen. Another thing that people are saying is that Hoglander will win the Calder. Right off the bat, here's what I think. No, straight up no. Just no, because, yeah, actually, I don't want to be sitting here next year saying, boy, was I wrong. So, realistically speaking, Hoglander isn't going to be an immediate difference maker, and he probably won't win the Calder. People can't expect an Elias Pettersson story out of Hoglander, and just to shut down anyone who thinks that's going to happen, I'm going to go over the previous Calder winners. I'm not trying to poop all over Hoglander, but I think, we need to be realistic. He is going to be good, but we aren't going to get a Cinderella story here. Now, let's look at the past Calder winners. Last year, Elias Pettersson won the Calder, and he nearly had a point per game. He was also probably the most valuable Canuck. If we look back at 2018, Matthew Barzal won the Calder Trophy, and he had a point per game, and he was probably the most valuable player on his team as well. And if we go back to 2017, Austin Matthews won the Calder, and he was also probably the most valuable player on his team. So if you haven't noticed, the Calder winner is an extremely valuable player to their team. And I don't think Hoglander will be that player. He might score a few goals, but he isn't going to be a point-per-game player. He will be a mid-6 to bottom-6 player. So I do think Nils Hoglander is NHL ready, but I don't think we need him, and I don't think we should rush him in. After all, he is a second-round pick. We should feel lucky that he arrived so quickly. Now I want to talk about what kind of player Nils Hoglander is. Hoglander is an undersized player, as I have mentioned numerous times throughout this video, but he makes up for his size with grit and a non-stop motor on defense. He battles hard, and he's not afraid to battle on the boards. His size may lower the effectiveness of his physical game, but he's not the kind of physical player to truck people. He's more of a clean and hard battling player. He can also force turnovers in other ways, and he's good at turning turnovers into breakaways. Hoglander's skating is phenomenal, and he's extremely quick. He has amazing acceleration, and he also has amazing edge work and agility. His skating is all around great, and I could just go on and on about how good his skating is. His skating is definitely his best quality. His ability to make tight turns and cuts is very effective, and he combines his amazing skating with soft hands and an excellent release. He has an offensive skill set of a pro, and if he can utilize it well, he won't have a tough time transitioning to the NHL. He could become a very good two-way forward, and in my opinion, two-way players are the best and the most valuable. I am pretty certain that he'll become at least a third or fourth liner, even if he doesn't pan out, and he does have his downsides like his size, but I still think he'll be good, even though, it may seem like I'm flaming him, but I'm not. But even though we have all these great qualities about him, we can't rush him into the league. That was the point of today's video. I was talking about, he's good, but we can't rush him in. That's just the truth. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. If you wish to get a shout out, follow those steps, then comment done. I'll be choosing a random comment on May 12th, so tune in then for the announcement. Anyways, thank you guys for 100 subscribers. See you next time.